Welcome to Movie Files, where Morgan and I review movies and TV shows. So we are here to give you guys our review for the movie Rampage, which is directed by Brad Peyton and stars the one, the only Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You have Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Naomie Harris, and Joe Manganiello. So if you guys aren't too familiar with this movie, this is based on a very popular game in the 80s. I've played it a couple times at arcades. Have you ever played it? No? Awesome. So if you guys aren't too familiar with the storyline, it basically follows the Rock character who goes by the name of Davis Okoye. He shares a very good relationship with a very intelligent ape where unfortunately you have this rogue genetic incident that happens to the ape, George, and he just becomes a raging monster. So we're just going to jump right into our positives. So I'll just start off by saying The Rock. The Rock is my guy. I was a huge wrestling fan back in the day, kind of growing up, and kind of straight away as the years went on, but I've always been a fan of The Rock, and just watching his career as far as the acting to where he's at now, I mean, he's truly a superstar. He has so much charisma in this film. He's hilarious. When he needs to be serious, action hero Rock, he does that. He's just a jack of all trades. So, I mean, that's one of the things that I thought were really great positive of this film was The Rock. Second thing that I could think of is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I'm a Walking Dead fan, which you guys can see our reviews every week on this channel. He's pretty much Negan in this film.
He's so great at playing a sarcastic, he wasn't, I don't know if I'd call him a villain, but
no, not at all.
Protagonist or...
kind of good guy, bad guy, CIA.
Always giving you shit.
Yeah, and like I said, if you guys watch Walking Dead, he's pretty much a Negan in this particular movie, minus the bat, minus Lucille, minus zombies, but he just has that sarcasm to him, and I really enjoyed his character.
And the banter between The Rock and him, it was just very funny.
It was really good. And also, too, as far as this film had a little heart. You know, George and The Rock's relationship, Davis Okoye.
It reminded me a lot of my relationship with my dog.
With our dog, yeah. Davis Okoye and George had a really good bond, really good relationship, and that was good to see. And also, this movie is an action film, and I think it really landed on the action, especially the last 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Really action-packed. It was in Chicago, the last, no spoilers, but it was in Chicago, the last fight sequence, which I'm from Chicago, so it's always cool to see that. So those are some positives I can think of. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I would echo it. I think I kind of went back and forth with you. But yeah, The Rock was definitely like my favorite part of the movie.
For sure. He's a
I
leading
do
guy,
have a little bit of a crush on him. It's just this the winking. See, I can't do it. But anyway, that winking, it just is so charming. But he does a great job. I love The Rock. And like I said, his banter, just his relationship with Jeffrey Dean Morgan and George, it was just a lot of fun. Yeah. So. And
then I know you're not a big action fan. I know it's not your cup of tea.
It gives me anxiety when things get ruined.
Yeah. But I mean, for the action, was the action okay for you?
I mean, other than the anxiety I had. But yes, part, it did its job.
Yeah. And as far as just kind of jump into negatives here, I would say there's some storylines, and particularly Naomie Harris' character. She has a particular storyline that kind of goes throughout the film that wasn't too intriguing, wasn't too interesting, could have been taken out in my opinion. And also there's these particular corporate villains that were just kind of
very cheesy, very like ABC Family or Freeform kind of like
villain of the week type of people that were in the film that were there and they didn't necessarily need to be there. And then there was some moments in the film. This film knows what it is, but it was some moments where they kind of took themselves a little bit too seriously for what the film was kind of presenting.
We didn't have enough time in the movie to build backstories on people, and I think they tried to do that, and it was we don't really need this.
And then also too, there was one scene in particular. The plane scene was pretty cool, but there's some CGI stuff that was just really weird. I think you know which moment I'm talking about. And then not to give too much away, but there's, obviously George. We have compassion for George. He has a whole backstory. He's pretty much the second lead in this movie. But the alligator and the wolf is just
Also, I don't know if this is a spoiler or what, but it took them almost too long, in my opinion, to find out about this alligator.
No one knew about it.
It's everybody knew about George and
the wolf, the flying wolf. Yeah.
And we had some scenes with them. And then the alligator, nobody knew, and this alligator is fucking huge
alligator in the water. And then also too, there were some pacing issues that were here and there that could have, again, I think that goes into some of the backstory that we're talking about that didn't necessarily need to be there. But overall thoughts, I would say I really enjoyed this film. I knew what it was going into it. A fun action. We're getting into that summer season. The Rock, giant monsters. I knew what I was getting into, so I enjoyed it for what it was worth. Now I would say, if you are a fan of action big monsters fighting each other, you're a fan of The Rock, I would recommend checking it out, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily you have to run out to the theater if you're not a fan of that particular genre and looking for something completely different.
If you want to support The Rock, or
The Rock is a great.
Or
I don't
if,
know, but
as a child you played this video game and you just want that nostalgia,
and there is some Easter eggs for those that are familiar with the game. That's pretty cool to check out. So all in all, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5 because I knew what the movie was. Again, this is an early screening, so we didn't have to pay for it. So you do have a different mindset when you get free movies versus if you would have paid for it. So 3 out of 5 for me. What about you?
I'm gonna give it a 2.5. I'm gonna pull in Elliot. God, I can't talk. So I'm gonna give it a 2.5. Because it wasn't like terrible, but it wasn't good. It was just okay, just very lukewarm for me.
Yeah, and again, it's the follow up what you just said. Again, if you guys are a fan of this type of film, I think you would enjoy it. But if not, it's not gonna change. It's not a game changer. So something we want to start doing now is using the poll question. So if you guys notice a little eye on the corner of the screen, I have a question, which is, do you guys think The Rock is the one and true last superstar in Hollywood? And what I mean by that is he brings butts to the seats. A movie like this, San Andreas, which he partnered with Brad Peyton with, the Fast and Furious series. So I just want to know, do you guys think that The Rock is the one and true superstar left in Hollywood? What do you think?
When you first asked me, Kevin Hart was another person that came to mind.
Tom Cruise still has movies that people are excited for. Mission Impossible, I'm excited for. But I would love to know what you guys think as far as that. Is The Rock the one true last superhero or superstar in the Hollywood film? So,
I mean, I will say, he can bring people out. He's the man. He's cool the Rock. Guy. Like, we're friends and he doesn't even know it yet. Right. Shout out to you. Hey, Rock.
There you go. So with that being said, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. Share this video and subscribe to our channel for some more awesome content that we have for you guys. But we love continuing this conversation on our social media accounts. So follow us on Twitter, which you can see all that stuff down here. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and then also something that we're using a lot more of now is Stardust. So if you guys aren't familiar with Stardust, essentially just 30-second reactions for movies, TV shows. So we love using it. So check that out and follow us at Movie Files. So with that being said, do you have any other final thoughts, Morgan?
No.
It doesn't matter if you have any final thoughts. Shout out to The Rock, bringing it back to the wrestling days. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video.